Yeah, I'm very pleased to present the case study of the work we did with Aillerie and Vero in East Kalimantan to anticipate and respond to deforestations. Just to check, everyone is hearing me well? That's okay? Just to be sure. No? Seem good? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah. Myself, I'm Mathieu Aillerie. I'm the product lead of Space4Good, and I'm leading the Forester program, which is about fighting against illegal deforestations. And we may have joining later in the call Dr. Willie Smith, which have been
I am here.
Just arrived.
You are here with Willie, so I'll let you introduce yourself, maybe.
All right, yeah, my name is Willie Smith. I'm an Indonesian national. I've been here in East Kalimantan for the last 45 years already. I was in the government responsible for nature conservation and reforestation, and I'm a director of the Aillerie and Viro industry group, which manages some 700,000 hectares of forest, and one of the areas is the 175,000 hectare that we have been monitoring under a cooperation agreement with Space4Good. And yeah, the results have been fantastic. I cannot say anything else. If you compare it to the surrounding concessions that have suffered great losses, while we were in a location right next to the new capital city, where there is a huge amount of pressure because of the tenfold increase in prices of the land upon encroachment. And we have been able, thanks to the very early warning system developed with Space4Good, to actually keep the forest almost completely intact. We have only had small incidences, hardly any fires. Compare that with thousands of detections done in the other concession, the Kiani Dastari concession. It has been, a savior really for our forest. But what we have also done over the years, which has been very satisfying, is that we were able to give them feedback on every point that they detected. We sent back whether it was a landslide, whether it was just trees dropping leaves and certain deciduous trees, or whether it was a fire or an opening or a wood theft. So all of those data that were fed back to Space4Good has now led that, they have about 10 times more detections, more accurate detections than the Global Forest Watch. So this is for our area in East Kalimantan, has been very good, that there is a constant improvement with their artificial intelligence and developing the algorithms further and further, thanks to these years and years of cooperation and feedback. So yeah, we are very grateful for this cooperation, and we're at the moment exploring a joint venture with Space4Good to actually commercialize our cooperation and doing this kind of work for other areas that are in need of protection and early warning system. The earlier you can get to a spot before it's bringing any money for the wood thieves or the encroaching people, the better it is to avoid conflicts on the long term. Maybe that I can say as a short introduction, Mathieu.
Yeah, no, thank you very Willie, because it's really a good introduction of what we will present today, and maybe I can now deep dive in each things you just mentioned. But thank you for your encouragement and this introduction. I may start by a short word on Space4Good, because I didn't meet everyone today on the call. So Space4Good so is part of the NTC collective, and we are a mission-driven social enterprise, and we are using Earth observations, so which means by drones or satellite imagery. We couple that with artificial intelligence, and we map, analyze, and model complex ecosystem. And for two pillars, for nature protection and restorations, and for humanitarian aids, because we are based in The Hague, the city of peace and justice. And the project, so that Willie just described, is now a product that is for, so we can offer this service everywhere in Indonesia together with Aillerie, but also in every rainforest. We have, thanks also to NTC, it's now deployed in Ecuador because we get the connections through NTC. So what we will present today is a partnership of how we start the partnership with Willie and Aillerie and Viro, the project scope, what are the features, a little bit more in detail, and go back on what's really say in terms of outcome and KPIs, the different challenge and obstacle we see ahead and the next step. And then we give back the microphone to questions, and to the breakout rooms will be organized by page. So yeah, Willy, do you want to speak about how we get to work together, or maybe with the hackathon and that when we meet and the challenge?
Yeah, I was just typing a message that I have to jump out for a call with the Director General of Forestry. Okay. After that, I will be back. But Vishnu Vardhana, my assistant for the last 32 years, is in the call. And I will leave it to him to explain more about our technical capabilities, the sensors that we have on our drone system, and the way how we can operate in the field practically with your wonderful feedback system that gives us flight paths, that gives us indications from what road to start, etc. I think Vishnu will be very well suited for that, and I'll be back soon, I hope, after the Director General. So thank you, Mathieu.
And thank you, Willy. So thanks a lot. So see you later, Willy. No, so maybe I will do this introductions, and Vishnu, I let you presenting when we go to the drone part later on. Yeah, so as Willy mentions, there are 170 hectares of forest we want to monitor and see if we can improve the protection of the forest. There was a lot of illegal logging and also conversions from different entities of the area of Aillerie into agriculture production like palm oil or eucalyptus. And the idea was to see, okay, can we with satellite imagery give them the right insights, but not only monitoring and alerts, but also having some predictions and some risk mapping to help them to do the policy making. And it's how the project starts within hackathon, and we have tested a lot of things to arrive to the service we are delivering now. And what we just would like to see an example of this is Aillerie lands that we monitor last in January. And it's not because it belongs to the Aillerie concessions that people are not coming there to cut the trees and trying to transform to agriculture. So this was a drone flight we did in January all together. And so the idea being, okay, what we can do for protecting the forest, to whom shall we do? So we say, okay, it's good to send the information to Willy and Vishnu, which are the managers, but it's also good to send it to the forest guard. So it includes, we say, okay, the forest guard should be in the loop. We should also find a way to talk with the people doing the encroachment. So we need to give also some map for storytelling. And we need also to improve the accuracy because navigating in the rainforest is quite complex. So what have been the different features we developed during the project? So enabling prompt interventions. So weekly field operators, forest guardians can receive alerts after the satellite overpass. But it should be easy because not everyone have a GIS background. So we use WhatsApp. The report we send on WhatsApp can be downloaded on a simple map called Avenza. And they can navigate directly to the point of deforestation, do investigation, and stop the encroachment at that time. So by getting very fast and reliable detections, we really see that it has improved the presence of the guard in the hotspots of deforestations, and it has reduced the legal cases. So it's reducing the legal cases can also pacify the relationship with the people doing encroachment. They start to find another way of doing agriculture or yeah. And it's no more conflict, it's more discussions now. And last but not least, was also important to use all the data to prepare automatic reports, because it was one of the things was, okay, the forest guard was going to site, there was doing the reporting, but to the manager, and the manager have to recopy all the information into another report. So now it's automated. They send the image, they put it on our platforms, and they can generate automatically the report. But last but not least is getting the information was good, but sometimes you get also false alert. Not big. There was really a deforestation, but it can be due to a landslide. It can be due to plant harvesting, and we don't want to send alerts to the forest guard to something they don't need to act upon, because if it's a natural deforestation, it's the life of the forest, and it's not something we can work upon. So we work on these classifications to do the differentiations between natural deforestation and illegal. And we have good results on this because the last years, everything was well classified. There was no false alerts or no false classifications. But getting the report from the forest guardians, we get also new data, which help to know better the forest, but also improve the local model. And it helps us also to train the model for predictions. So now we have a 20-meter resolutions model, which can help to anticipate where will be the next hotspot of deforestation. And it allows Aillerie to take new measures in terms of where to put new patrol or where to make some security measure to protect the forest. And what we find also is by targeting more the activity, it has reduced the operational costs of protecting the forest as a whole. So to give you an idea of how the things are working, so first you monitor the land precisely. You get near real-time alerts on your mobile. You can investigate with satellite imagery to understand better what's happened. But you can also upload field ground truth data, and you report to the format, and the format can be adapted to the different organizations. The format is not the same for Aillerie and for our other partners. And you can also prepare the land protections if you are a forest guard or if you are a community who are protecting the forest. You just can plan new policy, new patrolling, or new way of protecting the forest because you have the right insights. Last but not least, you need usually money. So it's good to have to document your impact goal when you are going to donors or when you are going to your management to claim that you are meeting the ESG goals. So the platform is not only this operational tools, but it's also a way to have maps to document your project in all phases, from the feasibility, the baseline, to the monitoring, what we call the MRV of a project. So for that, we are a tech collective. So I will also to mention which type of data we are using. So we are using Copernicus, Sentinel-1 and 2. We have been partnered with ESA, which help us also to finance the research. We are using Planet and NICFI data, mostly for presenting the information and helping the live investigations. And we can also use NASA for the fire alerts. So now it's how we arrive to these results. We had the pilot programs with Vishnu and his team, for which we did... Yes?
Sorry, I think that was just a random sound. I've muted.
Okay. No problem. So the pilot program was transferring knowledge in the both side. We, as Space4Good, we are expert in Earth observation and satellite imageries in GIS. So we have done some training to the team of Aillerie, Vishnu, Ezar, you can see on the picture. But likewise, they are expert of the forest. They expert of from the forest behavior, from what creates deforestation. So they transfer to us the field knowledge, and it was really a great partnership, I think, because we learned from each other, and we designed something which is working. So it's the basic of the doing workshops and code together and in the design thinking principle that we applied. Last but not least, we like long-term partnerships. So it's not just about one project, it's about doing other things together. And we enter in a competition on the X-Prize rainforest competitions about monitoring the rainforest. Maybe some of you have heard about it. There was also, we partner also with other NTC collective members. So it was called on eDNA. But it was, yeah, good competitions bringing us to Singapore all together, and was yeah, a great moment together. Yeah, maybe I've talked a lot. Vishnu, do you want to say a word about what you get out from the pilots? I know that it's a little bit, Willy was supposed to talk about the outcome, but if you want to give a word, Vishnu.
I think it's gonna be a long speak if I have to explain all the activities in our site. But maybe you can finish first your presentation, so
Yeah,
it's not mixed in one session.
Okay, so yeah, I will give the outcome from my point of view, and I will let you explain more, Vishnu. Yeah, so for us, the pilot outcome was successful because we're really working with the forest guardians, which are the JS team or the forest guard boots. Let's say we like to say, okay, with boots and going to the rainforest, and you see that going to the rainforest is not always easy. You go through mangroves, the road can be destroyed, and so on. So it was very great to have them within the team. We are also very happy to succeed to improve forest model, and it's just a global model, but then we can, with the feedback loop and field data, it's really an improvement of the model itself, and it's really resulting in greater accuracy, more reliable insights. We don't have false alert anymore, so yeah, we are happy, and we are looking forward to just replicate that on other areas. And the workflow also we put in place, we see that the investigation operation was simplified. At the beginning of the project, not every alert can be investigated. Now, with getting a better workflow, the last 6 months, all the alerts have been investigated by the team, and they can just act upon it. And yeah, and now we have also tools that we didn't think at the beginning was to including the reporting requirement from Arsari. And this is also something which is quite generic and can be replicated to any organization. So we are very satisfied of the pilot outcomes. And especially that's because we consider that we have saved on this area 2,000 hectares of rainforest, and we see really the deforestation dropping since 2019. We start working together. So for us, yeah, that was the result of this work done together. In addition, it was a request also that come during the project that's to use drones, because sometimes the safety or the security of the people are not really, yeah, can be a concern. So when the site is very inaccessible, or the risk of meeting people doing encroachments creates too much tensions, we can send drones, and Vishnu can explain that they buy new drones more with more sensors, because it can help also to document the forest and improve the local knowledge. And it's very easy to connect both, because you can download the KML file from the platforms and using with your drone software to yeah, just to prepare your flight path. The challenges we see ahead. So there's still a lack of awareness of natural solutions. So we need to still educate people that they can fight against illegal deforestation, not just from a compliance perspective, but also from a ground perspective. But thanks to the NTC and other network we have, thanks to Arsari, we are engaged in these communications activities. What people still not understand is the cost of deforestation for an organization is higher than protecting the forest. And it's also something we try to educate. And it's why also the ESG verification and reporting embedded in the project was important, is we can demonstrate the impact. And there was still a lack of precise insight to support smart forest management. So we think that remote sensing and participatory in-situ data collection are part of it, but also with Nature Tech Collective, there is other sensors and like acoustic sensors or eDNA that we are happy to partner with when it's necessary to improve the knowledge of the forest. Just to think, Willy was mentioning in introductions, two different areas. The area we are monitoring in and where we act upon alerts. This is the alerts in October 2023, and this is the alert in October 2023. In the other side, we are not acting upon alerts of deforestation. And you see that it's really a difference. It was more pressure on this, on the right-hand side sites, because it's close to the new capital cities and new constructions, higher populations. But still, the encroachment is bigger in the other area because it's more difficult to, there is no patrolling acting upon the deforestation. So there is really an impact on protecting the forest. So next step, we are deploying currently forester in Ecuador, in the Macri Puna Reserve. And I would just to mention that the connection have been done through the NTC. So it's also a good proof of that NTC is connecting the peoples. And the photo is from one NTC member from Gunter Arwick in Macri Puna. Space4Good, we are also doing carbon and biodiversity monitoring. And this is something we can combine with Forester. We have several projects with Arsari also on reforestation that can help. And the combined service of Forester plus Arsari drones can be used everywhere in Indonesia, and we can replicate the model everywhere worldwide with drones company. And to collaborate, you can book a demo with me if you want to see those products. I will be in Jakarta from the 10th of 18th with Vishnu, so you can also connect with us. And my colleague, the tech lead, Lisa, will be in Switch Singapore in October 28 to 30. So also don't hesitate to, just to send a link if you want to connect with us. Thanks a lot. And Vishnu, maybe I let you present from your side.
Okay. So maybe I will continue a little bit. Holding is already covered by Matthew's presentation, but I would like to a little bit give you the image of how we are work in the ground, in the forest, in the jungle. So first we have to consider about how you can monitor 174,000 hectares without any tools. It's like a human go to the 174,000 hectares and then you have to walk or by the car, or even you don't have any accessibility inside. So that's why we're really eager to understand and to know how the technology can be matched in our jungle. And Space4Good give us some clue how we can manage our monitoring forests with some tools. First, how to know where is the land change could be happen inside of the jungle. So from the alert system that Space4Good sent to us, so we have to find again how to go there, how to go inside the forest. Sometimes we found the road, or maybe the small step road, something like that. But how if we don't find it? How if the bridge was fall down or damaged, something like that? So every step that we have to think, we need to find the way how to work with it. And first, we work with the security management. So we put all the security members on the on the post surrounding the area. So if we have information, so we can call to the post, and the member of the security on the post has to be go to the location that we send to them. So Special would give us the coordinate from the system to us via WhatsApp, and then we tell the guard or tell the member of the security in the post, in the closest post, to go to that point. And then if there's no accessibility things there, so we have to dig more how to find that point. So we come up with how to using drone, but how we can have to go to there from the office to the closest office. It's also far. It's so far. So we tell them to find a way to the to reach the location by the motorcycle, motorbike, something like that. Maybe if they can reach, so they can make a picture and then send to us. And after a long experiences on how to reach there in the jungle, so we make decision to have a new drone, and then have another sensor for the drone, and then we can get easier to touch the position that we ask to them to go there, and then we find a way. It's not easy also when you fly the drone inside of the jungle. So again, technology is always try to find the way themselves to get the solution. Drone is not always give you a solution, because jungle is really dense. You know, the trees is really dense, and the topography is, you cannot predict it. Sometimes you find a steep, really steep of the hill, and then you can find a really high the area that can be reached by the drone. So we always change the way how to work with this system. And the last parts 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 3 months ago, Space4Good give us more system. They made some how do you call application?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they put some KML file that can be read by the drone to easy for us to go to that point with the KML file that can be reached by the drone. And we also buy a new drone to give more far to reach the place. And then it's always challenging to work on the jungle, and then we have to change the scenario on working with the system. And every time we change the way to work in the jungle, so we think that sometime it's not only one way to work in the jungle. And we always grown up with this learn, and Space4Good always keep in touch with us, and always bring us to something that maybe the crew from the Space4Good can be a solution for us to work in the jungle. And this is really challenging still, but with the system that Space4Good already gave to us, all the stage on how the management in our companies is settled already. So beginning, we need the input of the information of the land change, and then the second is we have to do operational. The challenging in the jungle is always um, we have to grown up with this one. We cannot only have one solution. There's always change the solution. And the third is we have a reporting that always served also by the system that Space4Good gave to us. So this is a good cooperation, I think, between the Arsari and the Space4Good to work in the jungle with some kind of technology that already developed in or grown up in the world. So we really changing with this experiences working in jungle and technology. So it's always never ending.
Yeah, thank you, Vishnu, for your insight and the story from the field. Yeah, I think, Paige, we have used the time you allocated to us, and it's maybe time for questions, but I let you. But thank you a lot,
Yeah.
Vishnu and Willy, for having presenting the work we did together.